So, next segment, we need to buy a car again. We lose some money in the last segment, let's do it again. This time we're going to go to Japan. We're going to go to Subaru and probably buy the last Subaru of this game. Which, well, I love this car, so let's hop in it. I don't think I drove this car, we drove the wagon in Boxer Spirit last time. Yeah. 22B. I'm talking about it enough throughout this whole playthrough, but we finally had one. The actually 22B for real, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and I'm actually going to buy the Super Slicks because this is a 4-wheel drive car, and we need that. Just going to straight up. I know I talked about it last episode, I don't want to just buy Super Slicks, but you kind of need to do that. As for power, you need power in this thing. Because we're going to be racing some RUFs, and I'm thinking just straight up just buy the Stage 4, the 80 grand. We kind of need it. I mean, we could also do the intercooler plus the Stage 3. That makes it a bit more toned down. But I think if we're going to be racing against the RUFs and stuff, we need the Stage 4. Let's do it. And I don't think... I mean, we needed it last time for the TVR, but I think we could go without suspension or brakes. And just see. So next up in Professional League, within our license is Boxer Spirit. Limited to just the Subarus and the RUFs. And then if the Ferrari 512 Boxer was in here, then that would count too. Anyway, let's hop in. So yeah. Got Impreza, Legacy, and then all the RUFs are here. So here we go. We got a big turbo in here for I think the first time we have a full turbo setup. The Stage 4. Probably can't hear the car too well. So we have short gears in this car. I'm probably going to need to buy a transmission for later on. So here we go. We're going. Yeah, Stage 4 is the right call, I think. This car is slow in top speed, so we need to have acceleration. Now, can we make these tires last to the end of the race? I have no idea. Whoa. Punt from the Subaru. It's a regular Impreza, who has a say. The not 22B. That toot-toot sound. I love that sound. So we are going. Here we'll hit top speed. Forza provide improved sound for the cars that they're showing off. But they'll probably keep using that generic V8 they always use. So we're back to actually racing AI for once. Dare I say we need more than the Stage 4. I think that was a CTR2 who just took off. No, it's an RGT. This Impreza just does not want to let go. At least this race is relatively short. So let's see. 4.5 seconds. I wonder if the RGT pits. Because he is flying. I went a bit too much on the grass there, but we drive in a rally car, so I can do it. It's excusable. So it's down to 4 seconds. Let's see if we can knock that gap down just like before. So once we break in these tires, we're driving the harder compound. So might be able to take these to the end. Maybe. I didn't know how the RUFs tire wear is. I imagine he'd need to pit though. And I thought I drove a pretty good lap there. 4.8 still is the gap. Oh, I'm cutting too much. We're trying to do anything we can to knock down that gap a little bit. Top 17 F1 races. Oh god, we gotta make a list. I have to think that through and write it down. Because I'll keep like remembering new ones as I build the list, and it'd be like, oh wait, this one was better. I mean, of the ones I've seen, which is other ones I've watched live, which is like everything from half of 2017 onwards. My favorite race ever was probably Germany 2019. I think that was my favorite race of all time that I've watched so far. Even though it was a Red Bull win, not a Ferrari, that was my favorite one. Things to do with 370Z. Get that good old slide. I'm just gonna have to hope the RGT pits and I can bring this car home to the end. Step 1, to dispose of it. The deadliest car on Earth. So, this car needs more power to catch up. This car's so quiet though. Just best and worst 2021 race. I think the best 2021 race. I have to think. I want to say Baku. I mean, for obvious reasons, but I think just in general, Baku was a great race to watch. Shoot, what was the best? What was really like a race that is so rewatchable? Belgium. Like, I liked Monza a lot. That one was really fun. Hungary was interesting, but honestly kind of a dull race. Until the very end. The end was fun. Enjoying the Blackhawks game last night. Are you from New Jersey? Because that was pain for me. That was pain. The Hawks came back with like 5 minutes to go. They scored 2 goals and then they just blew it within the first minute of overtime. So we got a point, but it was kind of cruel. So now it's a question of, is the roof gonna pit? Because now my tires are starting to get into that territory where they're broken in, but they might start to change color a bit. I have to drive them less slidey. Yeah, you're New Jersey, dude. Yeah. And I wish you guys would have kept Corey Crawford. I mean, like, I know he retired on his own, but you guys got him, and then you never wanted to play for you guys, so. Oh well. But yeah. As a Hawks fan, it's going to be weird this year, because we have Fleury, we have our $9 million defenseman, but I don't think that's enough to make the team, you know, playoffable. And Fleury's probably going to retire after 1 year, all things considered. Seth Jones trade? No, it's terrible. We traded Boqvist, I think, for him, and Boqvist was doing fine. Yes, we needed Duncan Keith, like, you know, defenseman, but I don't think Seth Jones was the pick for that. We could have gotten Hamilton or whatever his name is. I think it was Dougie Hamilton is his name. I don't follow the other teams way too much, but I know there's some better defensemen than Seth Jones. And even Seth Jones, okay, we got him. But $9 million, like that's, I think that's more than Fleury's value. And Fleury, I'd say, is the biggest pickup we made over the summer. I think everyone would say Fleury's was the biggest pickup. Oh, Dougie was on the Devils. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I don't know. Stan Bowman needs to be fired. I feel like everybody in Chicago wants Stan Bowman, Matt Nagy, Tony De Rosa, whatever his name is. We want a lot of people fired. That's kind of a Chicago classic. So, hey, when is this roof gonna pit? I've kind of wasted 10 minutes of my life just driving aimlessly. Is he ever gonna pit? Because I kind of need him to pit. I've kept the gap at 5 seconds. I'm gonna start pushing. Not like that. The Gran Turismo special. We're starting to close the gap just a little, probably because of that cut, but the gap I noticed is starting to come down a little bit, but a little too late. More power would have done it. So the gap's 3 seconds. We might still win this without the pit. Unless I just choke like that, driving like an idiot. Is he gonna pit? Oh, wow. Right at the end, I got bailed out. Finally. Take the lead on lap 10. That's all we need. Okay, so not 10 minutes of my life wasted. But we do need to upgrade, because I got bailed out there at the end. Or you know what? Did we? Because I think the next race is a little bit longer, so if he pits on Deep Forest, then he'll pit on the other races, surely. But maybe I should add power. Just the intercooler. And then maybe give it a transmission to boost the top speed a little bit. Alright. I thought that wasn't going to work. I thought we would have had to try pass him on check. And he might be faster right now through RGT. But I think we'll get him. Look at that, we're about to lap a legacy. Anyway. Cross the line. We take race 1. Kind of a boring race, even though we were in second for most of it. We had to just do a pit strategy for that one. There we go. Let's see how much time he made up at the end. He was 14 seconds at the last split. And he was 14-0, so we would have held him. Well, 15 grand. It won't fully make up, but it'll be something. I'm gonna need this. Alright, let's keep going. So, I didn't put in the transmission because I don't think I need it for this one. I'll need it for Super Speedway. Let's keep going. So even with the intercooler, the extra horsepower, we still have to try and keep up. Oh man, he's fast. Even with our shorter gears, he's fast. Spinala? Spinala! CTR2 Spinalas, and we got the Boxster, the 3400S. He's now challenging us. Rome almost looks like Sochi. It does look familiar. It looks like you put Sochi in the microwave. We just did what the AI did, don't worry about it. Oh man, this thing cannot steer on these tires. staying in 4th gear full time. So gap is 3.9 seconds, pretty much 4 seconds. I think we can do, you know, no stops on this race also. This race is also relatively short. Yeah, Rome. Honestly, I don't think it's the worst track. It was pretty forgotten after this game. I mean, there's endurance on this track, but it's a timed endurance, not a lap one. So the gap's only 4.4. We're in the same predicament where we have a gap. Even with the intercooler upgrade, it's still not enough to keep up and pass. So we're going to have to hope he pits, which I think he will. The GT5 Rome? Yeah, the GT5 Rome is such a different track. Whoa, that was a lip. I like GT5 version of Rome, but I think this was more fun to drive. I think Madrid actually from GT5 was the better, you know, city circuit. It seemed more like a spiritual successor. Jeb. Do you mean Jeb Bush or Seb Vettel? Because those are two very different people. Notice that 3400S is still right behind us, even though we had the CTR2 who was literally on our tail the whole time until he kept spinning it. So we lost a little bit of time to the RGT. Still trying to drive clean, and I could still see him. He doesn't look that far, but he is just out of reach. I have to hope he pits. Now I drop the gap to 4 seconds. Weird how stuff goes. Pretty quiet race. We're just waiting for the pit. I mean, we still have him within 5 seconds. I could pick off time from him. And maybe his tires start to drop off at some point. But then I wonder, once he pits, is he going to catch up immediately? Thing is, I can't pit because I'm pretty sure the 3400S will not pit. He's lighter and probably better on his tires. Oh, bad start. This is like Canada 2019. That's a pain race. The 5-second time penalty. Man, we're within 5 seconds. But the thing is, he doesn't have a penalty. You think the ref's going to pit on lap 9 again? Still under 5 seconds. Honestly, I just need a good first sector. Then we can start to pick him off. It looks like he has a bad third sector though. Or fourth sector, I forget what the number is. Now it's 3.5 seconds. Oh man, even though I thought I picked off some time, it's still only 3 seconds. I don't know if he's going to pit on this lap or he's going to pit on the next lap, but I feel like he is going to pit. Coming up in that 12-minute mark, so. Look, he's pretty slow in that corner. He's not going to pit. So I have to either pass him on track or hope he pits on 9. But he seems a little bit closer. Lap times aren't great, but he's now 2.5 seconds. Start to actually get a good lap going. Ooh, the 3400S pitted. I was wrong. Hey, we're gonna lap the legacy. The Pain legacy. The traffic might actually help me. Nope. I'll just cut right through. Maybe I could use the legacy as a slipstream. Now the gap's 1.5. I'm gonna send it. No pit for you. We're gonna race him. I don't think he would have pitted anyway if I wasn't blocking him even. He didn't seem like he was trying to turn in. Which is weird because this track doesn't seem like it's longer, but it doesn't seem like it's any better for your tires than Deep Forest. Well, this is the final lap scrap, so we're right here. I'll get a little bit of slipstream since my top speed's low. It's gonna try not to make much contact. We'll try to race him. We'll be coming in hot on the straights. Or will he? Are his tires dead? Oh, he slides. He goes for a big slide. Oh, that was kind of interesting. We win that one. Sweet. I think the Pain Legacy is actually going to get lapped. Yep. That was a good one. Let's get a replay shot. Well, we wait. Spinala. Oh, the big Spinala. Alright. We get our shot. Let's do the last race. The Super Speedway. An oval for a bunch of boxer engine cars. Not even the fastest stuff. This is why I bought a transmission, is because I feel like we need top speed. Because I don't think the tires are going to bail us out on this race. Because I think our tires won't last 20 laps. Wait, what am I doing? I'm looking for transmission. It would help if I had it. That should be good. I was just guesstimating. So yeah, 20 laps Super Speedway. I'm actually going to start in second gear. Because I feel like the first gear is going to be pretty short. Now the transmission sounds a little bit different. Now we have 6 gears instead of 5. So now we can actually go above 140 miles an hour and compete with the RUFs. fictional Darlington. I think this is supposed to be like Twin Motegi, sort of. 'Cause that's what ended up coming in GT4. Going wide here. Our front rights are gonna hate us. Look at that, the RGT that's caused us so much trouble. We're now neck and neck with him, just from a simple transmission upgrade. Popping into 6th gear. 0.068 between us. Do you think Qatar is going to be a reverse or more like a substitute Grand Prix in case COVID cancels one of them? Ride mid for more speed? I don't know. It's tricky to call it. What's the best line? I mean, this track is sort of downforce dependent on the turns. And we have a wing, but we don't have that much downforce. We're just driving with the RET. I would have thought the CTR2 would be a bigger threat, but I was wrong. Ooh, we actually get past. I think we should only stay in 6th gear above 136 miles an hour. Look at that new best lap as soon as I say that. Bit of a wide exit, but let's stick with it. So you think Qatar's rip off Bahrain? I don't know. I haven't seen much of the track. I don't think I've ever driven it in any video game, so I don't know what it's like. It would be brand new to me. So, the track looks narrow from the pictures I've seen, and I hear it's kind of hard to race motorcycles on it, let alone F1 cars. So, I don't know. It's a little concerning. It looks like our front right is going to be crying. The rest of our tires look fine, but the front right just looks like it's in pain. Thing is, I want to pit when the RGT does. The Impreza already going for a pit stop. So that means surely the other cars are going to pit. It's just sports washing. Yeah, it does seem like that. I don't know. Without getting too political, every time ethics is brought up about, you know, the new F1 races, everyone always has to compare and do a what about argument, which never leads to anything meaningful. Does F1 need to sort its priorities out? Probably, or at least make them more clear. but nobody would say making an open statement would be beneficial. But then you have the people who will make the what about arguments, so I don't know. It's a tricky topic that I think myself as a fan, yeah, I buy F1 merch, I play the video games, I'm planning on going to races, I watch the races, I buy F1 TV, so you could say I'm probably part of the problem. But F1's a business, and that's how they run it, and I feel like even if like 20% of the F1 fans didn't watch a specific race as a protest, that wouldn't be enough. Because they get most of their money from the track deals and the advertising, and ultimately the 80% of people who would continue to watch regardless. And then at the end of the day, it's just, I missed a race. It's a really, really tricky situation. It's hard to argue anything. So, what happened to the roof? He just dropped off. Probably his tires are starting to go bad. Maybe I should pit. Just so I get a fresh set of boots. Even though my tires are just starting to break in. You know what? Let's ride our tires for a little bit. Since our tires are just starting to break in, let's get those good lap times in, and then think about pitting. Oh, there he goes. He's pitting. I'm running low 39s, and there we go. I think we'll do one more. Since we got the good lap time, let's use it, and then we'll box. See if we can overcut the rough. And not get undercut, actually. People have short memories. They really do. It's kind of sad. But, you know, we can take a current event right now. Let's say the Gabby Petito case. Everyone wanted to be their own detective like 3 weeks ago. And a couple stuff's dropping off. Oh, look, there's the RGT. He just popped out. So let's dive into the pits. Get our pit stop going. But like everyone does the whole, they'll follow a story super closely and make so many like, what's the best way to put it? Emotional statements, let's say. And they'll forget about it literally within days because another event happens. I mean, we saw last year, we're seeing it with COVID right now. It's just part of the cycle, and I don't know. They're really a single entity to blame. Media, consumerism, good old capitalism. I don't know. Probably a combination of everything. But what can I do about it? Play a PS2 video game. F1 as its entity shouldn't like have to solve human rights issues, but everyone feels like they have to contribute to it. But what do you do? F1's a motorsport. The business, they make deals, but I don't know. Lucas is a commie confirmed. Sees the means of production. But then everybody will drive an electric box with no customization. If they even drive. I don't know. The thing is, like, if you pick one ideology, you have to follow every single checkbox, and I know, like, in modern socialist communism, cars are a waste. And that heavily hurts my my views. There's a lot of car dependency stuff that sucks. But I don't know. I drove in downtown Chicago a couple times. It is terrible. I feel like Chicago already is enough of an anti-car city. Where, okay, fine, I'll just stick around in the suburbs. If I can drive around. Well, F1 took a clear stance because they don't want to lose their fans. I mean, do you guys realize they said We Races won because of the George Floyd protests last year? That is the single only reason they did that. Because those events happened like a month before the 2020 season started. So, the only reason they did that is because that month every single company had to take a stance and had to take a position, because if they didn't, then people would flame them online and then in some cases even torture their business in real life. So, you know, F1 had to do that. Or at least they felt like they had to do that. So then they make that stance, but I don't think they truly meant what they said. I'm talking about like June, July 2020, when, you know, the George Floyd events happened and all the response and protests. But I'm specifically talking about what businesses and corporations responded, not what people responded. But I feel like F1 made that not as a... They did not really intend what they said. The only reason they made that statement is that they wouldn't get flamed online. I feel like everyone can agree on that. That's where they launched their whole We Races One thing. And... no, you didn't. I don't think... It's hard to say, like, no business means what they say, but... at the same time, it's kind of in like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. It sucks that I have to say that because, well, in order for F1 to make money, and all business to make money, they have to make deals with countries, and they have to make deals with individuals that maybe Twitter doesn't like. But I feel like what people forget to think a lot of the time is that there are millions of people who believe what Twitter thinks is wrong. Or not even Twitter, but like one corner of Reddit or something. I feel like something nobody really talks about is just how huge a number is. And like, what do you mean by that? Like, think of like 1,000. Think of 1,000 people. You probably can't name 1,000 people. If you could write it down, maybe you could spend a whole 24 hours writing it down, but you probably can't think of 1,000 names. It's a ton of people. Now, the world has almost 8 billion people, and that is so much. I feel like nobody really understands how many people that is. Even a tiny, 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 tiny fraction. That is a significant number. We're talking at least thousands. And if you see 1,000 people shouting, "We can't eat bread anymore. Bread must be banned." I'm just making that up. Maybe that's an actual stance, but if they say ban bread, bread can no longer be produced, sold, and eaten. If 1,000 people said that and you saw 1,000 people shouting that in front of you, well, you'd think everybody thinks bread should be banned. But that's not the case. So, I don't know. I feel like, without getting too political or taking any stance, like, I feel like everybody, no matter what side anybody is on, they don't realize how big a number is. So, that being said, we just finished the race, 20 laps. Hopefully that opinion is not controversial or anything. What do we get from winning the event? It's got a wing. An RGT. Interesting color. I wouldn't have liked that color. Could you say it's a piss RGT? Maybe. But it's not even. It's a light gold? Bread is not a food. Only Subway bread is not food. We can all agree on that. RUF RGT. 379 horsepower. No color listed. There you go. It's nice though. Percent. 66%. Almost 2/3 of the way through. That's the end of the segment.